Hi, everyone, and welcome to the stream today. Merry Christmas to everyone, everywhere you are. And really excited for having you on the stream today, being the last but one day for us to end 2024 and get into 2025. On the stream today is going to be a special masterclass that I want us to have where I'm going to be sharing with you how you can make your 2025 the best year of your life, and most importantly, the key things that you have to do in order for you to become successful. Also, there are questions that I'm going to be answering. So if there are any questions you have, something you want me to pick my brain on, don't hesitate. Put it in the chat for me. I'm going to be reading all your comments and providing you with some answers. But we're going to be getting excited and looking at how you can really structure your life so that 2025 will be the best year. Now, almost always at this point in each year, people sit around and they are planning how their year is going to be like. And there are many things that people do and many decisions that people take, which, among other things, end up not making them what they actually want to be. But what I want to do is to provide you with some framework to help you so that you can make the best decision of your life and, most importantly, be able to take your life to the next level, because at the end of the day, that is really the goal, that is really objective of everybody to become successful. But how do you make your 2025 the best year of your life? That is what I want us to get into. And also, I'm going to be taking some questions from you. So anything you have for me, something you want me to share my thought on, put it in the chat for me. So the big question we ask ourselves is, okay, how do you make your 2025 the best year of your life? How do you make 2025 the best year of your life? How do you do that? At this point, the main thing that you must understand is that you need to have a goal. And this is where people are going to be sitting down to have what we refer to as a New Year resolution. Right? So people are going to have New Year resolution. But I want you to understand that your success in life, your success in 2025 is not going to be just based on New Year resolutions. And there are some of you, maybe you've already done that or you're going to be doing that very soon. And you're going to be having a list of 25 or 30 things that you want to achieve in 2025. But I want you to understand that sometimes it becomes overwhelming if you have a tall list of 25 things. And so the way I want you to approach yourself, I want you to position yourself to approach 2025 is to ask yourself this golden question. What single thing must I do in order for everything else to be aligned in my life? What single thing, all right, must I do to make everything align in my life? That's the question I want you to ask yourself. I want you to be careful here. What single thing? Listen. There are some of you, you have a lot of goals at this point. Now, I want to give you an example, and I want you to follow me here well as we dive into this. Maybe you have a goal next year to marry. You have a goal to buy a house, okay? Or maybe buy a land. You have a goal to maybe buy a new car. You have a goal of maybe retiring your parents. Okay? Maybe you have a goal of staying in shape. I don't know. Maybe you're obolo to you don't want to be obolo again. But, you have a goal of staying in shape or staying healthy. Right? So you have a goal you want to marry. You have a goal you want to buy a house. You want to buy a car. You want to retire your parents. You want to stay in shape as an individual. And what else is your goal? In 2025, maybe you have a goal of traveling, right? You want to travel around the world. and have fun and chill. That is go on some vacation and all these. So let's say, just a bare minimum, you want to marry, buy a house, buy a car, retire your parents, stay in good shape or stay in shape, travel around the world, whatever it is. Let's say these are some of your goals. The question you want to ask yourself is, what is the one thing you have to do that will draw you closer to achieving all of these things? So I want you to stay with me carefully. Yes, you want to marry. You want to buy a house. You want to buy a car. You want to retire your parents. You want to stay in shape. You want to travel around the world. But what single thing do you need to do all these things? You will realize that all of these things will be possible if you have money. Now, stay with me. We are narrowing down our plan. So, yes, you want to marry, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to retire your parents, you want to stay in good health, you want to travel around the world. But what single thing do you need in order to make all of these things possible? Money. Okay. Then the next question we need to ask ourselves is, how do you make more money in 2025 so that you can come closer to achieving some of these goals? The amount of money you make in 2025 is going to be dependent on two things: your skill and then the value you bring to the marketplace. Your skill and the value you bring in the marketplace. Stay with me carefully. Again, we are walking our way on the vision. So instead of saying that, hey, I want to marry, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a land, I want to buy a car, I want to retire my parents, I want to stay in health, I want to travel around the world, the question you need to ask yourself is, what single thing do I need to do to be closer to all of these things? And that is to make money. How much money you will make in 2025 would depend on two things: the skills you have as an individual, your expertise, and number two, the value in the marketplace. Now, value in the marketplace simply means the problem that you can solve. Because you are not paid based on just your certificate, how beautiful you are, or how handsome you are. You are paid based on the problem you can solve in the marketplace. Okay. So, if I want to make more money in 2025, then I have to ask myself, what skill do I need? What problem can I solve? So now we can then narrow down to say that, okay, in order for me to become more valuable in the marketplace, in order for me to get that promotion that I have been waiting on all these years, in order for me to climb this corporate ladder and, benefit the way I am supposed to benefit, then probably I need to become a chartered accountant. Maybe I need to get another MBA. Maybe I need to go and do some executive program. Maybe I need a mentor. Maybe I need to do something. So, entering into 2025, it is not about, I want to marry, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, I want to retire my parents, I want to stay in shape. Your ability to do all of these things and many would depend on how much money comes into your account every day, and most importantly, probably every month. But the amount of money you make is dependent on the skills you have and the value you can provide in the marketplace, the problem you are solving. But the problem you can provide solution for, or the skills you can possess, would depend on your education, your experience, your expertise. And so you have to then ask yourself, all right, what single thing must I do in order for everything else to align in my life? And for some of you on this call, probably it will be for you to finally become a chartered accountant. That is going to be crucial, because when you become a chartered accountant, maybe your promotion had been waiting on. When you become a chartered accountant, maybe you can get that new job. When you become a chartered accountant, maybe that new opportunity will come your way. So what happens is that now that you have gained the skills, you've gained the expertise, you've gained the qualification, you can now solve bigger problems for the company. Once you are able to solve bigger problems for the company, guess what? You are going to be starting to make more money. Once you are now making more money, guess what? You can now marry. You can now buy that house. You can now buy that land. You can now buy that dream car. You can now retire your mother or your parents. You can now stay in good health. Because if you are broke, you can't stay in health. You can't stay in shape. You can't stay healthy. So what am I trying to say? Instead of having a New Year resolution where you write 17 things down, just ask yourself, what single thing must I do in my life to cause everything else in my life to align? And for almost everybody on the stream, your problem is money. That's all. 99.9% of your dream for 2025 will be possible based on how much money you have in your account at the end of 2025. That's it. By the grace of God, grace is going to be with us. But it's going to be dependent on how much money. But the money you make is dependent on the skills you possess and the value you provide in the marketplace. The skill you have and the value you can provide in the marketplace is also going to be dependent, for the most part, on what is your level of education, what expertise do you have, what experience do you have as an individual. That is going to be very important as an individual here. Give me a sec. It's like I have a one moron like that posting something useless in my comments. Gotta get rid of that quickly. So it's going to be dependent on the skills you have. So please, that is where I want you to start. Ask yourself this question: what single thing must I do to make everything align? So don't have New Year resolution and have a list of 17 items. 28, Charlie, 2024, Charlie, I want to buy a cow, I want to buy a marry, I want to do this. 99.9% of all those things will come to pass based on how much money you make. And the money you can make as an individual is based on the skills you have or the problem you can solve in the world. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what must I do? For some of you, it will be education. Becoming a chartered accountant, upgrading yourself, getting another MBA, attending a workshop, maybe doing that PhD that you have been putting on hold all this while. Because when you do that, it is going to then unlock everything else in your life. That is where we want to start this 2025 journey, your goal. And you must have a target of just one thing. One. Not 17, not 10 things, just one. So that one thing brings in the money. That one thing then gives you the luxury to be able to then do all of the things that you have on your life. There are some of you who hate your job. And every day you wake up, you go to work, you hate it, you don't like it. Why can't you change your job? Because probably your certification is not up to the level of the job that you are looking for. Or there is an opportunity available, but you don't have the expertise, you don't have the qualification for it. So instead of continuing to complain, my job, I don't like it, I'm not treated well, become the one thing that you need to become in order for you to become successful. So going into 2025, I just want you to ask yourself, what one thing must I do to become successful? And as I said, this is the blueprint. Yes, there are a lot of things you want to do, but all of them, 99.9% of the time, is based on how much money you make. The money you're able to make is based on two things: your skills and the value in the marketplace. The skills you have as an individual will depend on your level of education, the certifications you have, the qualification you have, the experience you have. What is it that you can do for people in the marketplace? If you can find that single thing and do it, 2025 will be a great year for you. Because the reason why I don't want you to go with a New Year resolution is that by the 9th of January, 99.9% of you, that New Year resolution will be nowhere to be found, because you will come back to auto reset. You will come back to factory reset, because you will come back to your default state. So to keep yourself afloat, you don't need a New Year resolution. You just need one target, one goal, one thing that which when you do, everything else will become great in your life. That is how you can make your 2025 a great year. But there is something you need to understand. As you walk through this plan that I've written here, your goals, depending on money, the skills you need, and the one thing you have to do to make you skillful so you can make more money, so you can achieve your goals, there is one thing that you have to be able to deal with, and that is your fears. Stay with me carefully. There are many of you, you are going to feel like jumping over the wall, but fear is going to cripple you. There are many of you, you're going to be coming to the point where you have to make a certain decision, but you're going to be afraid. But there are a couple of things that I want to let you know about to help you with your fear. The first one is you got to tame your fear. Tame your fear. Listen, it's not a big deal as that. It is not something that is impossible. There are some of you, you are preparing to sit for the ICA examination, ACCA examination, or do an MBA or MSc, or maybe start a business next year. But you are afraid. You are like, oh, what if I fail? Hey, this thing, they say people start and they fail. Oh, hey, this thing, what if I fail? You have to tame your fear. Because 99.9% of the things that you think about do not even exist. Yes, someone started a business and failed. Yes, someone wrote an exam and failed. Yes, someone has been on the journey for 15 years and they have still not been able to become chartered accountants, become successful. And so what? You are different. You need to be able to tame your fear. You have to get to the point where you are willing to launch out. You have to be able to go. And so you must learn to tame your fears. That's the first thing I want you to do. Now, to be able to help you to tame your fear, you need a positive environment. Positive environment. Now, when I talk about environment, I am talking about both geographically, okay, and then socially, as well as, even mentally, and probably spiritually. You need a positive environment. Listen to me carefully. If 2025, you want to marry, you want to buy a house, buy a car, retire your parents, stay in health or stay in shape, be healthy, travel around the world, or do whatever it is that you want to do, it means you have to make more money. It means you need to be skillful. It means you need to be valuable in the marketplace. Now, when you start to now try to become the best version of yourself, there are people around you who are going to be telling you, oh, Kweku, take it easy. Oh, Kukua, it's not possible. Hey, do you remember Auntie Amele's daughter wrote this exam 17 times? They are always failing. You don't need such environment. And so for some of you, you need a change in an environment geographically, which means physically alienating yourself from the people around you. Very important. Now, I'm not saying leave your parents' house. I'm not saying leave your husband or your wife or your spouse. But for some of you, it will mean geographically changing your location. Because a positive environment is needed for you to be able to be mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in sync, so you can become skillful, valuable in the marketplace, so you can make more money, so you can achieve all your dreams and all your goals. So geographically, you need it. Then socially, who are your friends? Tell me your friends and I will show you your future. There are some of you, you surround yourself with the same people. You have the same broke people who are your colleagues at work. No vision, no dream, no aspiration, don't know about money, very useless things. Every time we are just having fun, and there is nothing significant that anyone is trying to do. And these are the people you are surrounding yourself with. You cannot go into 2025 with that kind of social people around you, because that energy cannot make you to become successful. That energy cannot make you to become wealthy. Again, I am not saying change. Tomorrow you go to work and you're going to tell your colleagues that, hey, don't come closer to me again. No. Carry out what I refer to as a friendship audit. Even for some of you, family members. Certain family members should not be having access to you. You are so accessible. Friends just call you, hey, Kukua, you know something? Do you know that this weekend, my friend's sister's brother's cousin from the UK is having a birthday party at Kukrentumi. Let's go. Then you walk around, then you are going. Hey, Ohema, do you know something? You see that my friend who came from London, his cousin's brother's sister's grandmother's parents are having 30th anniversary. Let's go. Then you are going. All those things take away your time. And that is where fear starts building up as the year goes by. Because January may be gone, February may be gone, March may be gone, and the things that you wanted to do, you are not doing them. Then fear begins to build up more as the year goes by. If you want to achieve your goals in 2025, you want to make sure that you are able to have a positive environment, and that includes your social circle, your friends, family members. Don't just be accessible. Put some premium on your time. Put some premium on your personality. Put some premium on who the heck you are, so that you can spend time to make your goals come to pass. You have a book to learn. You have a lot of assignments to do. You have a lot of project works to do. But here you are jumping from one wedding to the other, from one party to the other. You come back home, you are weary, you are angry, but you are like, oh, I want them to, I have to be there. You don't have to be everywhere. You have dreams. You have aspiration. You think your mentors, your icons, the people you looked up to, if they were accessible like that, they will reach the top? No. That is why only a handful of people are at the top. And that leads me to the next thing. Mentally, you got to be positive. Because for some of you, 2025, if you want to become successful, you want to become wealthy, you want to become skillful, you want to become the best version of yourself, it will require you changing that environment that I spoke about. And when you change that environment, probably you're going to be alone. But it is important you are somebody who reach a point where you are alone, but you don't feel lonely. Because listen, it is not everybody's dream to marry. That's the reality of life. Maybe you are not married yet, but it's not everybody's dream to marry. It's not everybody's dream to buy a house or a land. It's not everyone's dream to retire their parents. It's not everyone's dream to stay healthy or stay in shape. It's not everyone's dream to travel around the world. So your dream, it's different. Your aspirations, it's different. And you cannot walk with the same people who don't have the same dream, who are not operating on the same wavelength like you are. And when you start separating yourself from them, you are going to feel it. But you got to build yourself mentally and learn to be alone but not feel lonely. Yes, there are times it's going to feel lonely. There are times people are going to call you names. Hey, I called you. It was a birthday party. You didn't come. You too, if your birthday reach, nobody will come. Don't come. Again, I am not saying cut out people in your life. But what I want you to know is this. Nothing significant is achieved with ordinary attitude. If you have not achieved anything before, you must be willing to do something you have not done before. That is life. So you cannot be an ordinary person. You cannot do things the way you did in 2024, in 2025, if you want to achieve something significant. Listen, I believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. I believe in the grace of God. I believe in the anointing of God. And I believe that God is going to be walking this journey with us in the next 365 days. God is going to be there. The grace is going to be there. But it is important you have the mental capacity to be able to take it and walk the journey and achieve success. So mentally, you got to build yourself. And then certainly spiritually. Listen. Life is spiritual. I don't care who the heck you are. I don't care what the heck you believe in or you don't believe in. But life is spiritual. Things don't just happen. If you think you just slept and woke up, it's a lie. If you think you just went to work like that and then, or you go to work like that, at the end of the month they pay you money, that's not how life is. Life is spiritual. So one of the things you want to do going into 2025 is to make sure that you are spiritually alert. You have positive spiritual environment. Now, I am not saying go and buy anointing oil and come and drink. I am not saying go and buy any seawater anywhere and come and spread in your house. That's what I'm talking about. I am not saying go and buy some clothing somewhere and come and put. I'm not saying go and buy any pastor's picture and come and paste it on your wall. That is not the spirituality I'm talking about. I'm talking about spirituality where you are aware of the things going on around you in the realms of the spirit. I am talking about a spirituality where you reach a point where you can go to the throne room of grace and demand things to be done in the earth realm. Because there are sometimes your effort, your actions, your dedication, your sacrifices, you've done it is not going anywhere. And that is the point where you go on your knee and like David, you pick the ephah and ask God, should I pursue? And if I should pursue, will I recover all? Spiritually, you must be positive. That is one thing that you do to deal with your fears. Because when things are not going your way, when everything is crumbling down, you are going to be fearful. But those who know they are God, will not be afraid of anything. If you know God for yourself, you are able to have that relationship with God. You are able to influence things from the realms of the spirit to materialize. Then you will not be afraid. So, tame your fears. But that will require you to have a positive environment. The positive environment means geographically, be mindful of your physical environment. Socially, the friends, the family people around you. Because the voice you hear continuously is whom you become. mentally, you got to have a tough mental attitude. Yes, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you. You need to be able to handle all that. And then spiritually, you have to be able to carry yourself spiritually. Listen, life is spiritual. When I got that revelation that life is not what you think it is not what you see. Life is influenced spiritually. And if you don't understand that, you are just going to be wasting your life. Because the life is not for the hardworking people. Oh. It is not about, I got up every morning, I take trotro and I go to work. No. If you're not spiritually influencing things, you are just walking like paper and the wind will blow you and you wouldn't know what to do. But I am saying, I don't mean go and buy anointing oil and come and drink. Because in this part of the world, when we talk about spirituality, it's about objects. People want to buy anointing oil and be drinking. People want to buy water and be drinking. People want to buy things and be putting on themselves. That is not the spirituality I'm talking about. I'm talking about a spirituality where you have a personal relationship with God. And that is the second thing you need to fix your fears. Because if you are spiritual, you understand God, you know God is on this journey with you, there is nothing you will be afraid of. Let the enemy try. It won't hit you. Let the enemy come after you. Nothing will happen. Even if you lose your job, you know, okay, I have lost this job, but any door that is closed, my God can open 10, 20, 30 other doors for me. That is what I mean by killing the fear that you have by being spiritual as an individual. You need to walk in faith in 2025. Because that is the only way everything else can materialize. So, tame your fears. Number 2, have a positive environment. The third thing that I want you to be mindful of is something that you hear me talk about a lot, is mentorship. Listen to me. Listen. You don't have to try anything. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to struggle in life. Whatever you want to do, someone has done it before. Wherever you are going, someone has been there before. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, someone has achieved it before. All you need is to ask yourself, who has done what I want to do? How did they do it? What were some of the mistakes that they had, and how can I avoid it? Mentorship. So going into 2025, mentorship is going to be crucial. And the reason why mentorship is crucial is because it helps you to then get people in places of authority into your life, and these are the people who can mention your name in those places of authorities so you can become successful as fast as possible. 2025 mentorship. Listen, don't try to do it on your own. I'm at a point in my life where everything I want to do, I just ask myself, who the heck has done this? Who the heck is good at this? Then I do it. People look at me sometimes and they sometimes look at my age, or if they get to know my age and they are like, oh, then they start asking a lot of questions. I'm like, bro, don't look at the age. It's mentorship, bro. It's mentorship because I am shown the way how things are supposed to be done. 2025, your success is hinged on who you can learn from. You want to become a chartered accountant? Get somebody who has been on the journey, done it, do it, taking people throughout the journey, and find out, how is this thing done? What must I do? Who must I become? Mentorship. You want to start a new business? Okay. Look for one of the successful entrepreneurs in the world, read about them, listen to their podcast, read their books, and find out how they did it. Mentorship. You want to build a ministry, you want to go into ministry, the same thing. You want to marry successfully, bro, you need mentors. In this day and age, you don't just get up and go marry something. No. You don't just men and say, oh, when I see her, then my heart is doing me, tugurun, tugurun, tugurun. Oh, when I see him, there is butterfly in my stomach. That is foolishness. Absolute foolishness. Because marriage is not successful based on butterflies. And in case you don't know, butterflies have a very short lifespan. So pretty soon, that butterfly you are feeling in your stomach will not be there when reality hits you in the face. So you need a mentor. Some people who have been on that journey over and over again, and to advise you and to let you know, this is what you look for. These are the red flags you have to avoid. These are the things you are not supposed to do. This is how you communicate with your partner. These are the things you have to avoid. These are the things you have to look out for. Then you're able to make the best decision so you don't go and marry something that would destroy your life. So you want to become successful in 2025? The third thing that you want to deal with is mentorship. And that is important because it helps you to overcome your fears. So that, yes, you are afraid of doing the thing, but now you have somebody who knows how it is supposed to be done. So that fear will leave you. You have somebody who has a track record of how what you want to do is done. And this person is teaching you, do it this way, go it this way, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this. There is no more fear, and you will become successful as fast as possible. I say this always. Mentorship is that which helps you to bridge the gap. Or maybe squeeze time. So that something that took people 10 years to do, you can do it in 2 years. That's life. That is life. You shouldn't take 10 years before you do something. You shouldn't take 20 years before you do something. How can you do it in a record time? Mentorship helps you. And the reason most of you are on the hinge, you're not able to make a certain decisions is because you are afraid. And the reason why you are afraid is because you don't know how to go about it. And the reason why you don't know how to go about it is because there is nobody around you showing you how it's supposed to be done. Neither are you looking for anybody like that. That is where mentorship comes in. But you see, the fear is going to be there. No matter the environment you have. No matter the mentor you have. And so the fourth thing that I'll tell you to do to deal with your fear is Nike's slogan, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. See, there are some times that you, after thoroughly looking at all the analysis, looking at all the data, looking at all this research and everything, you are like, okay, I'm going to do this. What if I fail? I don't care. I'm going to do it. What if it doesn't go well? I'm going to still do it. Yeah, people have done it and have failed. I will do it. Hey, what if I'm not accepted? Just do it, bro. Just do it. It's like, the guys understand this a lot, and probably sometimes the ladies as well, right? I mean, there is this lady, you like the lady a lot, but you are afraid of approaching the lady. But you are interested in this lady, bro. You try. No. Just do it, bro. Just go to her and say, hey, baby girl, my name is Nhyira Premium. What's your name? Pick it up from there. Just do it. What if I'm on bounce? Yeah, you are bounce. And so what? Oh, what if she rejects me? And so what? You tried. And a lot of the things that I want you to do this year, going into 2025, is to try. Try to face your fears. Try to just do it. See, there's not going to be perfect time for everything. I published my first book when I wasn't ready. I started my first business when I wasn't ready. There are various things that I've done that I've never been ready for. But I just put myself in the position and I'm like, okay, let's do it. After thoroughly doing my research, doing my work, I said, let's do it. Okay. Some may win, some may lose, but you got to just do it. And this is why this thing is important. And I want you to put all of these things here. One thing I want you to do is to practice meditation. Please be careful about this thing. Meditation. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. Meditation is very important for you if you want to become successful. But it is not a kind of meditation you are thinking about. So follow me well here. I want you to every morning spend some time by yourself, where you imagine that everything that you are wishing for has come to pass. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 3 minutes, whatever the heck. Just spend some time to imagine everything. Imagine you are driving that car of yours. Imagine you are living in your house. Imagine you have retired your parents. Imagine your family is doing well. Imagine it. Spend some time. That is an energy you need. The reason why this is important is that it makes your spirit to become positive. Then that enhances and encourage you to take the necessary actions to make those things come to pass regularly. And so there are sometimes as I'm speaking with my students and somebody calls me and the person is like, oh, I've written the exam over and over again. At this point, I'm tired. I'm giving up. You know how I deal with those things? I just ask them. So imagine your child has come to you. They are going through hard time about something. And they have come to you. Mommy, daddy, this is what I'm facing. I'm going to give up. What would you tell them? Are you going to tell them to give up like you did? Or you're going to tell them to move forward? How would they listen to you? How would they believe in your words as their parent if you could not do what you are telling them to continue to do, although they are facing the difficulty? So I said, imagine. So what are you going to tell your children? That's the question I asked them. What are you going to tell your children? That you wanted to become a chartered accountant, but you couldn't become a chartered accountant. Why? Because you were lazy? Why? Because you wrote the exam 5 times and failed, and because of that, you ignored it? Oh, okay. So when they are also struggling with mathematics in class, when they're also struggling with physics in class, when they're also struggling with English, should they also drop out of school like you gave up your ICAG journey? Should they? No! And that is the power of imagination. That's the power of imagination, and that is what I mean by meditation. So you want to spend time with yourself. First thing when you wake up in the morning, last thing before you go to bed. Keep that fuel in you. And for some of you, you need a vision board. A vision board. If you are somebody who follows me a lot, you will see on my iPad, this is my vision board. Okay? On my iPad. And it's on all my devices. This is my vision board, which has everything that I want to achieve in life. The money I want to have, the family that I want to have. You could see it here, right? Everything here. The money, the family, the cars, the houses, flying private if I want to. Everything. You need a vision board. All of those things, when you look at them every day, every time, it enforces you. So that if Kukua calls you to come and attend some useless party somewhere, you won't go. Because your heart is telling you, bro, you need the time to work on yourself. You need the time so that you can achieve your goals. You need the time so that you can really become the person you have to become. So you want to fight your fears. Tame it. Have a positive environment. Get a mentor. And just do it. Now, just so you know, when I say get a mentor, you have to be careful. I don't mean get one mentor about everything. I have several mentors. 99.9% of the time, you can't take business advice from your pastor. 99.99% of the time, you can't take financial or wealth advice from your pastor. I don't mean to disrespect your pastor, but 99.9% of the time, they have no clue about how a business is run and about how wealth is created and maintained, because they have no clue about taxes. They have no clue about trust. They may have no clue about anything that relates to how wealth is built. So for 99.9% of the time, you can't go to your pastor and go and take money advice from your pastor if they themselves have not built wealth outside their ministry. So you have to be careful about mentorship. The person who will advise you on your career may not have the capacity to advise you on your marriage. The person who will advise you on money may not have the capacity to advise you on your spiritual life. So when I talk about mentorship, I'm not saying get one guru like that and that person, every question about your life, you expect answer from that person. No. Experts in every field. And that's how my life is departmented or, segregated into. If I want advice about money, there are people I'll speak to. There is someone I will go to. If I need something about spiritual life, there are people I will speak to. There are people I will talk to. It's not the same. It's not the same. If it is something about relationship, there's a different person I will talk to. Not these two people. And that is very important. And you got to make sure that you work on your imagination. Imagination is key if you want to become successful. But all of these things are hinged on your ability to be able to make some sacrifices. Listen to me carefully. Your 2025 will only be successful if you are willing to make some sacrifices. Like I was telling you earlier, your friends have called you for a party. You have to decide that you're not going to go for that party because you have to read. You have to do your assignments. You have to study because you want to pass your ICAG examination and become a chartered accountant, and then boom, 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 make more money, and boom, 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 you can buy your dream car. Or movies. Or something. You got to make some sacrifices. Listen to me carefully. Your level of success in life depends on how much sacrifice you are willing to make. And I say this all the time. On the altar of success, there must be a sacrifice. So the question I ask you is this. In 2025, what are you willing to give up? In 2025, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? Because the sacrifice you make will depend on the success you have. And for sacrifice, I will hinge this on two things. That is discipline. Discipline simply means you bend the ship. That's all. Bend the ship. Listen to me carefully. Bend the ship. See, I've had people when I was starting my journey, tell me a lot of things. Hey, we are going out. Charlie, we are going to check some girls here. Hey, Charlie, some party here. I'm inside. Oh, Charlie, some excursion bill. Charlie, I'm inside. I'm at the library behind my book. I am reading. I am doing things. Why? Because I saw myself, and I still see myself, that if I'm going to become successful, there's only one thing that I can do, and that is to talk. That is to teach. That is to use my brain. And how can I talk well, teach well, use my brain very well without studying? And I had to burn a lot of ships. And people called me names. Workaholic, antisocial, whatever the heck. I don't care. And that is the mental thing I told you about earlier. Because people are going to call you name. But you need that discipline to go there. Because the people you see at the top burn some ships. If I can say that. They have to say no to certain things for them to become successful. And that means that you must be dedicated. So what's your level of dedication? How committed are you? So if you are going to be successful in 2025, what are you willing to give up? That means you have to discipline yourself. That means you have to be committed. No excuses. One of the things that I can't stand as an individual is people who make excuses. Oh, and my mother kidney is missing. Oh, and I'm tired. Oh, and my nose. Oh, and my heart. And my this. And my that. And I'm a D. And I'm a D. Alilala. No. No excuses. If it must be done, do it. Nhyira, but I'm tired. Do it. But Nhyira, it's difficult. Do it. But Nhyira, I feel like giving up. Do it. What are you willing to do? Because you have the dream. You have the aspiration. You see yourself. There are some of you, you have an inspiration because God has revealed to you how your future looks like. And you know you have a great future. And you know you can become successful. You know you can be great. But you're not willing to make the necessary sacrifices because you lack discipline and you lack commitment. But God has entrusted you. You know God has called you for something greater, for something higher. But you're not willing to discipline yourself. You're not willing to say goodbye. To make 2025 your best years, you must learn to say no. And you must learn to say goodbye. That's all sacrifice is about. Saying no and learning to say goodbye. That's all. For some of you, there are certain people you have to learn to say no to. There are certain people you have to learn to say goodbye to. It's going to hurt you temporarily. It's going to hurt you. But you got to say no. You got to look them in the eye and tell them, yeah, what you are asking me, I can't give it to you. What you are asking me, I cannot do it. And you feel hurt as you are saying I can't. And they feel hurt as they are hearing you. But you got to be able to sacrifice something to be able to become successful if really you want to become successful. That is how life is. That is why it's like the pyramid. At the top, just a handful of people, because only a few people can say no. Only a few people can say goodbye. What are you willing to give up? For some of you, social activities, watching movies, and most importantly, how much time you spend on these devices, social media. Some of you can be on TikTok, can be on Facebook, can be on social media forever and ever. And you are not learning anything new. You're just scrolling and looking at things, scrolling, looking at things. You're just wasting your time. Why not channel that energy to your goals, to your dreams, to your aspirations, to become a better version of yourself? Yeah, people are going to laugh at you. But hey, you got to choose. Which one do you want? Have the money you want. The people around you, your close family people, are very happy. You have peace of mind because you don't think about the bills. Which one do you want? Compare that to having a miserable life. Recently, I was talking to somebody, I was like, how can you wake up and be thinking about water bill, electricity bill, and TNT and become successful? You won't become successful. Because you shouldn't be thinking about electricity bill, water bill, lights bill. Really? That's what you are thinking about? What the heck? No. Your brain has to do bigger things. But how do you get to that level where money no be problem? You walk to the mall and you pick things not because of the price. You pick things because that is what you want. You walk to the restaurant, they bring the menu, and you are not picking the meal looking at the price list. You are picking the meal based on what you want. So they are bringing the menu. You're like, hey, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that. Do you have it? They say yes, bring it. You didn't even check the menu. Yeah, just bring it. How much is it? I can pay. That is peace of mind. Deep down in your heart, that is what everybody wants. Deep down in your heart, that is the experience we all want to have. But the reason why only a handful of people can experience that life is because only a handful of people are willing to say no and they are willing to say goodbye. But I'm just challenging you that 2025, if you are going to become successful, you got to learn to make some sacrifices. Got to learn to make some sacrifices. It's going to be very important. And if you can make some sacrifices, discipline yourself, dedicate yourself, learn to say no and goodbye, you will become successful. Oh, Nhyira, so are you saying that people should not have social life? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. In my circle, I surround myself with people that the people I surround myself with, I can count them on one hand. That's all. You don't need 17 million people. You don't need to satisfy everybody's need. That's what I said earlier. Put a premium on your life. Put a premium on your time. Everybody knows that they can call you and they can get you to do some useless things for them. So they call you and you are walking around doing useless things for people. No. You cannot waste your life like that. You cannot waste your life like that. And all of these will be possible if you are healthy. So I want you to take care of your health in 2025. You can discipline yourself. You can dedicate yourself. You can become a better person. You can have a better mind if you are healthy. And I know some of you, as part of your New Year resolution, which I said you shouldn't have, but as part of your New Year resolution, you're like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to jogging every day. And some of you, next week Thursday or next week Monday, you're going to go to the gym and pay for your subscription. Then you will attend 1, 2, then fine, you are done. But you got to be healthy. When I'm talking about your health, I'm talking about your diet. Very important. Don't just eat anything. Be mindful of what you eat. Very important. I'm talking about how much fluid you get into your body. Water. These drinks. About 98% of the drinks that we have these days are not things that people should be taking, especially on a regular basis. I'm not going to be name dropping any brand here because, who the heck? But you got to be careful the fluid that you take into yourself. Very important. Very, very important. Don't just eat anything. You go out, hey, Charlie, you are eating things by heart like that. Drinking things by heart like that. Got to be careful about that. Exercise. Very important. You don't need to go to the gym to exercise. You can just get up and in your house, maybe get some dumbbells, get some skipping rope, get whatever. What else can you get? Get a yoga mat or whatever. It's just a discipline. Or maybe just in your neighborhood, you just jog 2 times, 3 times a week. It's not about going to the gym, but you got to be exercising. Oh, Nhyira, I am busy. And I have to wake up 3 a.m. and leave home 4 a.m. so that I'll get home 5 a.m. I'll get to the office by 8 a.m. Another serious error. How do you leave home 4 a.m. so that you can get to work early? Oh, Nhyira, where I stay, the traffic is very far. Who asked you to go and stay there? Oh, Nhyira, that place, the rent is cheaper and I have my house there. That's unwise. Anyone, this is my opinion, that spends more than 1 hour from work or from house to work and vice versa, you are killing yourself. Literally. Because sitting down like that for like 2-3 hours doing nothing, you are in traffic, glasses are down, dust, the fume from the exhaust, everything, you are killing yourself. Why should you stay in the traffic for 3 hours before you get to work? Why? The rent is cheaper there. You are killing. Continue paying cheaper rent and pay expensive TNT and continue to kill yourself. That's why every day you are stressed. You are tired. You get home, your husband touch you, he say, hey, I'm tired. I've gone to work. I'm tired. So every day you are tired. So your husband cannot have any enjoyment. Then if your husband goes out, they are like, oh, men, they don't have anything. Men, they are not satisfied with anything. But you are not giving him satisfaction at home. Where should he get a satisfaction? So you see that the decision you make to go leave 3 hours, 4 hours from your workplace is now affecting your marriage. It's affecting your children's life. It's affecting everything else around you, and you are not happy. But you are justifying that because you are like, oh, the rent is cheaper. Oh, I live in my own house. That, in my opinion, is absolute foolishness. That's it. Absolute foolishness. And now your marriage is destroying your life. You are not healthy. Every day you have to go to the hospital. Your children are not mentally, emotionally stable. Listen, I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling you the consequences of what you're doing. And I see this a lot. And I tell people, you cannot spend 3 hours. Why? From home to work. Another 3 hours from work to home. Me neighbor. Why? How can you be healthy? How can you be successful? Because every time you get home, you're already tired. You can't do anything. Your children come to you. Fine. Your spouse approach you. Fine. Everybody come to talk to you. Hey, don't you see? I'm tired. I've gone to work. I've worked. It's something wrong with your brain. You've gone to work. So other responsibilities, who should do them? And everything else around you is destroying. But you can see it. So your health is very important. Your health is very, very important. Because if you don't have the good health, you are going to not achieve anything in 2025. So eat well. Eat well. Make sure you drink only things that are allowed to be drunk, if I can say that. Or only things that its right to be taken. Then you exercise. Very important. Very, very important. I believe that if you can do these, your 2025 is going to be a great year. Let me know. Any questions for me? I see some comments coming up. Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Let's see. Got some comments coming in here. Julius Smith said, good day, sir. Good day, Julius. Mohammed Kiozulu said, following you from Liberia and always admire your lecture. Thank you, Mohammed. What else do I have? Malia said, watching live from Bentiu, South Sudan. Okay, thanks for joining us, Malia. Gloria said, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure, Gloria. Kekli Baina said, this one, dear, flesh and blood did not reveal it to you. Okay, I'm in the spirit, right? Ade. What else? David Gaisa with the heart in the comments. Okay. What else do I got? Marian Buffalo said, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure. Any comments, any questions, something that maybe I mentioned that you want to seek more clarity on, I'll be excited to do that. Do Blabo said, hi, chairman. I be your chairman? Yes, boss. What's up? What's up, nigga? What you got for me? What you got for me? Right. So, making your 2025 count, these are the key things that I want you to really take into consideration or take into consideration. Don't have 17 things you want to do. Just ask yourself this key question. What is it must I do? What is it that I must excel at in order for me to become successful? If you can identify that one thing and work your way out on that one thing, you will become successful. And as I said, almost everything you want to achieve is dependent on money. The house you want to buy, the car, the marriage, everything is about money. And the money you can make depends on the problem you can solve and the skills you have as an individual. So if you can upgrade yourself as soon as possible, be more skillful, be more valuable in the marketplace, you can make more money. And once you can make more money, everything else will just align. You can buy that house, you can buy that car, and you can finally marry that beautiful girl that you've been toasting for years. That's life. That is life. So these are a couple of things that I want to share with you as we plan for 2025 generally, and see what you are made of, and then what you can actually become as we go into this great year. Give me a sec. I think I'm having some multiple scenes coming in here as we are going into this year. And so tomorrow, 31st, and is the last day of the year. And then first, things are going to be starting. Want you to go into the year with this energy and realize that it's possible and you can become successful, but that would depend on what you do. But most importantly, if there's a key takeaway of all of these things, is to understand that life is spiritual. It's very, very important. If you understand life is spiritual, everything will be different for you. Okay? Everything is spiritual. Things don't just happen. Things don't just happen. Because that is how you become successful. I'm seeing a comment coming up here. Let's see if I can take it. Nathaniel Quay said, God bless you, sir, for this powerful session. As a young professional, I often go experience fear because of perfectionism. Kindly help. I understand you, but also you need to make room for yourself. I mean, you got to be yourself. It's good to aim for perfectionism, but it is better to just seek for excellence, okay? Because sometimes in an attempt to try to make sure you get everything the way it has to be, you may end up not getting the outcome that you seek. And this is where, for a lot of people, they would want everything to be successful, everything to be in the right places before they go or they start doing their things. So what I would say is, it's good to seek to make sure that everything is done perfectly. Everything is in its right place. But it is also important for you to just go in there and go after it generally in that regard. Now, there are various contexts that we can have perfection generally at the end of the day. But if we give a couple of examples, let's say, for instance, you are seeking to start a podcast, right? Maybe you want to start a podcast. You want to do what I'm doing. And so there are people who are like, hey, I want to get a microphone Nhyira is using because it sounds well. I want to try to get the kind of camera that Nhyira is using. Nhyira has an iPad. I want to get an iPad like that because the iPad, if you're writing on it, is nice. I want to get a MacBook because, the MacBook transition is nice. Oh, I want to get some device, maybe a Samsung S24 Ultra or an Apple iPhone, 16 Pro Max. Because you want a certain level of perfection. But you need to understand that all the great people you see today as perfect didn't start like that. Maybe today you will see our production, you will see me, and you'll be like, wow, look at the production, look at this, listen to the sound, look at the video quality, look at Nhyira, how poised he is, look at how composed he is. It didn't start this way, bro. You can go and look at my previous YouTube videos. The sound was whack. The video was whack. Like everything was not right. But I started anyway. And as you go, you learn. Okay, this is how you improve this. 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 Then gradually, it's a journey. There is nothing like, yeah, I am perfect. This is perfect. No. We always learn. So what I would say is, it's good, but make sure that you are just, once you are getting the bare minimum right, some basic issues right, boom, that's okay. Go for it. And that's fine. Again, we can bring this into another scenario where you are looking at the examination. Let's say you are in the exam hall, you are writing financial reporting or corporate reporting. So let's say you are preparing the consolidated financial position, or you are preparing a statement of financial position extract, and it didn't balance, right? So as you want everything to be perfect, what do? You try to go back and go over everything that you have done, right, to see. But remember, the balance sheet didn't balance. That's okay. You can go to another question. This is not the time to go and find out what error you committed to get the balance sheet to balance. You can get some ticks in there. The balancing of the balance sheet points, that's okay. You can lose that and move ahead with something else. So that is what I'm trying to say. Perfection is good. Aim at becoming the best all the time. But you have to know that it is not a destination. It's a process. It's a journey. So start where you are. Start with what you have. Make sure that you get it right first. But even if it doesn't go as you plan, keep going. There is no need to make sure everything is right all the time. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we make some mistakes, but it's all good because as you go and as you climb the ladder, you perfect yourself, you perfect yourself, you perfect yourself. So Nathaniel, that is what I would say in that particular case. Let me know if that is helpful for you, Nathaniel. Seeing another comment here. Though Blabo said, please, on your advice on life being spiritual, may I know your thoughts regarding the payment of tithe as a Christian? Yeah, pay your tithe is very important. Very, very important. Don't take it for granted. Don't let anybody brainwash you that, oh, you can take your tithe and give it to poor people on the street. No. Tithing, it's important. It's important because every increase of yours, a portion of it must be given to God, must be given in the house of God if you're a Christian. So I am big on tithing. It's something that you don't want to take for granted. Do it. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you, oh, these pastors, they are taking your tithe and they are doing that. No. Because Jesus said, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the Pharisees and Sadducees, you cannot see the kingdom of God. Now, in the context that Jesus said that, the Pharisees and the Sadducees were the rabbis. They knew the law. They were the people who we will call today the archbishops, the popes of Jesus' time. And Jesus was like, until your righteousness exceeds that of these people, you cannot see the kingdom of God. So maybe you may pay the tithe and the pastors or the church can use it for whatever the heck it is, but you've paid it. It is different from seeing somebody who is in need on the road or who is in need and you being generous to them. That is also another aspect of giving. But tithing is key. You don't joke with it. Tithe. And yes, the bare minimum is 10% at least of whatever increase you have. But it depends. There are sometimes you can go beyond that 10%. Why? Because it's a covenant you are making with God. You are telling God that the purpose of the tithe is for the church to use it to pay the church workers, to offer help to the needy in the church and all of those things. That's the purpose of the tithe. If you look at how tithe is used in the Old Testament, that's the purpose of it. So pay it. 10% minimum, but if you want, you can go above it and believe in God that as you are doing it, as you are paying that tithe, He increases you more. He makes your life better. Then, beyond that, give alms. Be good to people. Don't take the tithe money and say, I'm going to give it to people on the street because the church will chop the money. They will use the money to buy a car for the pastor. I don't care. Because for your information, the pastor must drive. Yeah, that's okay for me. It's not in my right to determine what the church does with the money. My right is to do what God, and I believe God has asked me to do. So, that's my thoughts on tithe as a Christian. Pay it. And if you begin to rise on that level, sometimes you can go beyond more. Imagine God blesses you to a point where 30% of every increase you have is going into tithe. Now, I know you're going to say, whoa, 30%, yeah. No, God can bless you to a certain level where you can survive on just 20% of your income. Because the rest of the 80%, part will go to tithe, part will go to other investments, part will go to other charitable work. So that is what I would say. As a Christian, don't take it for granted. It's a key thing that you have to do to help you to become successful. And that does a lot for you as a person. And don't do it as a ritual. Like, yeah, people are paying tithe, so I'm paying. No. Be conscious of it. That's why I talked about spirituality. Unless you are conscious of what you are doing, the blessings cannot come. So that is what I would say there. Do blabble on the concept of fighting. Let me know if that makes sense for you in that particular case. Nathaniel said, "You are right. I sometimes waste a lot of time on one project, which affects me a lot." Yeah. So you have to be mindful and let some go and let some stay. Okay, Nathaniel? Let some go, let some stay. That's okay. That's okay. Like this live stream that I did, that I'm on right now, it's not everything that is the way I want it to be. You saw me changing the scenes, and, because I have another camera shot here, that's what it's showing. But that's a backup camera shot. But as I'm changing the scene, it's coming in. I didn't want that, but it happens. But that doesn't mean I'll say, oh, the live stream was not fruitful. The live stream was not right. It's good. What I'm just saying, you see that it's gone. So now I'm going to bring up the backup camera here, because that's why I had this shot here. Give me a sec. Right, so that's it. All right, so that's life generally. So it's not everything that will go as you plan every time. But the most important thing is, hey, whether I'm on the main camera or on my backup camera, or the scene is not changing the way I want it to change, I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm still here talking. I'm still doing the stream. That is life. Okay, that's life. Do Blabo said what? Thank you for the advice. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And that's it about that. So, guys, that's it. That's what we want to share with you. I want to share with you today. And as you go into 2025, it's my prayer that you become successful indeed in 2025. And most importantly, you reach the point where your goals are becoming clearer to you as an individual, because as part of your journey is to discover yourself on what God has called you to do, because we all have something that we've been called to do. And if you're able to discover that, then you will become successful one day. So I wish you a happy new year in advance, and I'm going to be seeing you in the new year. Make sure you subscribe, you stay connected. There is a lot that we are going to be coming up with in 2025, and we are hoping to really increase the size of our community, our YouTube channel, really getting it out there, our Facebook pages, really getting it out there, and really making the Nhyira Premium brand going out there more go in 2025. So you stay connected, because there is a lot that we want to do to help you to really become successful. And we will be coming up with some workshops of this nature, but focusing on specific areas of your life, live on Zoom, where you get the opportunity to speak, and we help you so that 2025 you become wholly successful, not just academically, but you become successful mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually as an individual, so you can live the life that God has called you to live. So happy new year in advance, and I'll catch you in 2025 as we continue with our journey. Thanks for being with us throughout the years. Throughout the year, really grateful. For those of you who have been sharing the videos, subscribing to our channel, we really don't take any of these for granted. And I really want to say thank you for being part of the Nhyira Premium brand throughout the year, and continue to stay with us as we go into the future, because a lot is being prepared for you to help you so you become successful. So enjoy yourself, and I'll see you in 2025. Bye-bye.